Hello, welcome to yet another podcast by me, Gavi. And today's podcast again comes from conversations I've had with clients and which trigger thoughts I wish I could just express to so many different people. I can't go into detail like most HIPAA, but the concepts I can talk about. So I had a client this week who unfortunately had low self-esteem and hated themselves and believed that they're not good enough for themselves, for anything. And they had this unfortunately perpetual record of constantly telling themselves that can't do nothing. Well, I made mistakes in the past, and that's it. I am damaged goods. I am no one loves me, etc., etc. Unfortunately, it's a theme I hearing more and more. So I was trying to use the usual tactics that you do, and all of a sudden I remembered I once saw a documentary on Sir David Attenborough. Again, he does these wonderful documentaries on the world. And anyway, one of them I remember he did a clip on was known as the resurrection plant. So I don't know why it came to me, just like good ideas come to you at the wrong time. And I said to this client, I want to tell you a story, which is reality, it's truth. You can even check it up yourself. And I retailed this documentary that I saw years ago. Again, this called The Resurrection Plant. And what it was is basically is like a massive, they see these dust in the dust bowls, all these had like windswept grass flying across. Imagine that. Anyway, this plant looks like this, and it's in the desert, and it's a curled up plant that looks completely dead. And the wind blows it across the deserts for years and years and years. Anyway, what happens is that so David starts off by describing this plant that looks dead that's brushing across the desert. And then in the next clip, it comes and starts to rain. And as it rains in the desert, as hopefully one knows, or if not knows, you're going to be educated today, is that when it does rain in the desert, it rains and pools of water. So imagine you got split screen. You got the rain coming down, and you have a picture. You have a clip of this resurrected plant blowing across. And as it rains and it meets, as the plant comes to a pool of water, it stops. And amazingly, you see it. I'm sure it's sped up, but all of a sudden, this dead-looking plant is stopped in this pool of water, and all of a sudden, you see suddenly to open up, and as look like dead branches suddenly become green and opens out, and in the middle, I think it is, there's a plant that comes up, the thing, and again, all the small slow time lapse, you see the raindrops come down, and as it hits the flowers in the middle of this plant, you see it knocks off a seed and drops into the sand next to it. And the next clip is that you see you hear that David Attenborough, he is narrating that in as you see the seed fall into the pool of water or the sand that's wet, he describes very, very, in a short amount of time, seedlings grow through. And basically, he explains how whenever it rains, they take the most of it, and it has to take time to, very short amount of time, it grows again into a new one. And as it carries on, as the rain stops and it dries out, eventually it's grown enough that it becomes a plant, a mature plant. And as the weather gets hotter, it suddenly crawls back into it, and over time, it's blown away. But enough time that the rain has happened that it's able to release its seeds, and cast it to regenerate and create. And he ends up by saying is that this resurrection plant, it's called that because who knows how long it's been since the last time it got watered. But as soon as it does get watered, this miraculous occurrence happens that once was thought dead, just need a little bit of water, re-bloomed and was able to pass on. Anyway, so this idea came to me, and I explained to this person. I said, just imagine you are this ball of looks like dead plant that's just been blown around from place to place. And look, if you look at it as you just saw past, you say, oh, what is it? It's dead. It's just been blown around. So I said to this person, says, you are like that. You think you're dead, but all you need is a little bit of water. You need a little bit of belief. You need to meet someone to give you a belief system, or you need to just stop and do whatever you do need to drink a little bit of water, I suppose. Is that once you start changing your mind frame for a second, right, like standing under the rain, and all of a sudden the potential is there and opens up, and as the plant grows in a little bit of rain, it enables these seeds to be knocked down and grow to the next generation of this species. So I was using this as an analogy to this person that you're not dead. You're just beaten. You are self-defeated. All you need is a bit of love, a bit of a validation, a bit of honesty and pep talk to yourself via a coach, a therapist, whatever a person needs. Get a book, get a motivational book, take that discipline just to write down every day, how, even if not, fake it to believe, fake it till it becomes real, kind of, so I gave through a certain techniques. Anyway, we'll see what happens. But after that, sometimes, you meet clients, they stick in your mind of poignant experiences. So this story, this episode is something that's going through my mind, is something I believe in, and something I want to express. So many people outside that don't believe they have something to give. They think they're dead. They think they're worthless. They think that they're just here in this world, just blowing around, by the wind. I'm just doing time. I'm dead. I'm nothing. I'm worthless. If we were to suddenly realize we're not worthless, we have so much potential inside us. We have incredible potential. We have incredible insights. We have incredible skills that we could pass on to others. We could, help others. That if we in a way realize we have the ability to resurrect our soul. We can have ability to resurrect our relationships. We have a resurrect our relationship between our wife and our husband and our children and our friends, and our relationship to ourselves, and our relationship to our perspective on what we're giving in this world. What are we doing? We can resurrect our jobs mind frame. We can resurrect and be honest in ourselves. What I'm doing right now is not healthy for what I would like to achieve. And, it's as simple, I know it sounds simple, but it's as simple as just stopping in a puddle of water and just reinvigorating, re-energizing, allowing just the water just to be absorbed. I know it's hard. Believe me, I deal with enough people who think it's not hard. But it's possible. If it's possible that a plant for decades, maybe, or maybe a century, depending on how dry the desert is, can change to not change, to has still got that ability to recreate oneself. How much more so us, human beings, who have the ability to talk, ability to create, ability to help, and ability to be incredible. We human beings have the ability to create buildings and skyscrapers and come up with great works of art and great works of literature and medicine. And we have this incredible source of potential locked inside of us, and each and every one of us has that. But what happens is we stop believing in ourselves. We listen to negativity. We listen to what other people think. They are right. Well, maybe they're right for them, but not right for you. If we look in the mirror, the only person we really see is ourselves. Let's have a good look in the mirror and say, hey, you beautiful, looking back at me. You think in this moment in time you're nothing if? No, I don't believe you. I don't believe you're a mistake. I don't believe God created an incredible soul, an incredible being just to drift and do nothing. Unfortunately, we see where this day and age, destructive of negativity, destruction of lack of validation, the destruction of what people think is important, but really it's empty. We have that ability to recreate, resurrect the greatness that each and every one of us has. We've each got a story to write. We've each got a song to sing. We've each got a dance to dance with. You may not think that you have it, but I promise you, you do. That's why I've talked about this in previous podcasts. The kind word, a sincere hug, a meaningful story, a listening ear, right, is incredibly therapeutic and healing for thousands of people. Right? We don't know the actions of how it can trigger within a person ability, again, I've discussed before, not killing oneself, of one believing in oneself. It also, I said to this guy, is that sometimes we have a mind frame of salvation only comes from a certain way. No, you can learn from, again, a plant, from a story. That's something that you never heard of before. You can look outside and see the way that the nature goes from winter to spring to summer. Right? We all go through seasons. We all go through happiness. We all go through challenge. We all go through challenging times and dark times. But everything has to have an opposite. If you look at ourselves as just imagine, I tell clients at times, close your eyes and imagine you're a plant. Right? Now think of your favorite color. Right? And imagine that it's dark, it's winter, it's cold, and what you're doing in the ground, you are hibernating. It's too cold to come out. But while you're doing that, you are building up sugars and energy. So soon as the temperature becomes warm, that all of a sudden what happens is that new shoot pokes through, right? And with enough watering, enough light, and get rid of the weeds, you have the ability to grow tall, strong, vibrant, with beautiful colors. What happens with color within your plants, and you have vibrant colors and you're healthy? You have bees that take from you, that doesn't detract from you, but create something sweet. And you can, in your mind's eye, you can paint a picture. You can create a reality that's real. You have the potential. If only all of us would realize that we have so much power, we have so much beauty, we have so much empathy, we have so much validation, we have so much incredible positive energy, that we would just harness it. Our life would change. Other people would change. We wouldn't have to wait decades and decades and decades to find a pool of water. Again, in these podcasts, these overviews are just very brief. There's so many different levels that that we can discuss. I could go into detail. I could go into more elaborate sessions. But again, I just want to throw these concepts out there. I want to throw it out because, again, I stress there's so many people I meet who just don't believe in themselves. They don't believe they have something to give. They are down in the dumps. They think that their life is doom and gloom and they're a waste of space. That's not true. There is someone out there that loves you. And if you are loved by one person, then it's worth it because you don't know how you affect them. Life sometimes like a desert, but nothing stays the same. There will eventually come rain clouds. And the rain clouds in this analogy is a friend, a good word, a good hug, a opportunities to ground ourselves and let our dry limbs be revitalized and let our soul be comforted and just embrace ourselves. And what happens, again, simplistically, what happens is once we become revitalized a little bit, amazing things happen. The seeds come out, the ideas will come out. It will, you will see that ray of light. You will feel that roots being unthirst. Again, something good as genuine as a smile is as good as a raindrop. So this short podcast this week, I will leave off one of my favorite songs in Monty Python Life of Brian, when the very last scene is upon the cross, and Eric Idle turns around and sings the most funniest but beautiful song. Always look on the bright side of life. We have to do that, even from above, when again things look terrible. Fake it till you make it sometimes. Not always, that's not always good, but sometimes you have to fake it. You have to suddenly embrace the water puddles that you find. You have to embrace that you are worth it. You are beautiful. You have so much to give, and you have so much to give others. And you are not a mistake. And you were created and born at a certain time to certain places because that's is what the world needed. So I thank you again. Please share and subscribe and keep resurrecting yourself. Keep re-evaluating your beauty, recreating the color, the song, the potential that you have, because we all want it. We need it, and we're crying out for it. Okay, my dear friends, be curious, be strong, but you're worth it. Until next time, thanks again, and God bless.